Before the video starts, I want to say a couple of things. If you think that I'm clickbaiting with this title of an Arctic blast, I'm not. In my 4 or 5 years, 6 years really, of tracking the weather intensely, I've never remembered anything like this so early on. We could be seeing up to a couple of feet of snow across even the lower elevations in the mountains this upcoming week. September, we could have our first earliest named winter storm, and some of these anomalies are ridiculous, up to approaching 50 degrees below average. This is truly what an Arctic blast would look like if it occurred in September. An anomaly of 45 degrees is ridiculous. I just wanted to make that clear. We can move on with the video. Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm hoping you guys are all having a fantastic day. So, you may have seen my previous video that I uploaded today. It was about the large storm that is going to be occurring. I will keep you guys updated on that. It's very interesting, looking very interesting. So if you want to get an update on that, consider checking out that video. Today's video we'll be discussing about just the cold weather that could be coming, also just the pattern, but obviously speaking of the pattern, really the cold air is what's going to be dominating the pattern for the next few days, really the next few weeks. So if you guys are new to this channel, check out the channel, watch the video, consider subscribing, and if you are a returning viewer, liking the video would be awesome. Consider leaving a comment, obviously just optional, but let's get on with the video. So let's start off by looking at the GFS model, Global Forecasting System. This is a very highly regarded model. It is one of the main models used for forecasting, if you don't know. There are, obviously, it has its flaws. One of it is being all over the place, and kind of overhyping certain events. But what I've noticed with the GFS is it's been actually really good this past summer, if you will. This past 2 months, it's been forecasting rather accurately, and it's been limiting its exaggeration events, if you will. That was pretty common last winter. Let's take a look at this. So we are looking at a storm that's pretty strong across just south of James Bay, delivering showers and storms. They are much more scattered than what it appears on this map. Still, though, it is a strong low pressure. It is producing some moderately strong winds. That passes through, and it really isn't even this cold air that we're talking about, because after that storm, we will get a bit of a cool off across the Midwest, Northern Plains, and Northeast, and you can see that we have the bluish colors to negative 1.5. So really, just cool temperatures, cooler than normal, but really nothing I would say that's gonna be, it's not going to feel like October, okay, or even November, which it could with that second air mass, which I'll get into. So I'll just stay on the temperature anomalies, honestly, because it's better to see and it just makes things less confusing. Also, I will be including dates in this. So notice this is Friday, so this is tomorrow, September 4th. You can see there's quite a bit of cool air across the Midwest. It is a bit limited. It's going to be very warm across the west and portions of the southeast. Now, as we press further into this, into September 5th, now Saturday, notice the cool air across the Midwest kind of gets dispersed. We see the heat across the west really building. And what's funny is, if you recall, I made a video about a snowstorm, right, yesterday. And the snowstorm is still forecasted to occur. Nothing has really changed drastically, but I just want to point out, look how warm it's going to be across some of these areas. It's going to be in the 70s, 80s, 90s. Denver right here, Saturday, 84, and then on Tuesday and Monday you could be receiving 3 to 4 inches of snow. It's definitely it's definitely something we haven't seen in a very long time. Denver is known for its crazy weather, right? But just like, early September snowfall is really just unheard of across Denver. Mountains maybe, but you should go watch that video that I made earlier today. What will allow for the snow to fall is the really cool air. So notice, by Sunday, we are looking at still heat across the west, ridiculous heat across California. Really, the East Coast, I wouldn't say it's going to be cool or warm. Right around average. You can see some areas a bit cooler, some areas a bit warmer. just expect anomalies. If they are a bit above or below, they will be relatively small. Now, as we push this into Monday, we see a bit of warm air across the east, but what really catches the eye is this large blue coloring, and this is indicating some very cool temperatures, and some of them are actually gonna be, you could see if you were to go on this scale, almost nearing off the charts, if you will. This color right here is around a 25, 26 degrees Celsius below average, and I was looking at Pivotal Weather, which I'll show you the GFS Pivotal Weather, where I can actually pan over some of these colors and show you the exact anomalies of that, and some of them are well into the negative 40s. Not in temperature, but in terms of below average. So notice we have just really cool air, and this comes in late Monday across. Well, it starts coming into the U.S. Late Sunday, but it really just spreads quickly. It just unfolds rather quickly. By within 24 hours, it's already across much of the Midwest, Upper Plains, and moving into the South. And then we see some of these anomalies. You can see just really intensified. This is now Tuesday, September 8th. This is when the snowstorm could be occurring, and I mean that level of cold is quite literally an Arctic blast. And you may be, again, a bit surprised as to why am I calling this an Arctic blast. I mean, some of these anomalies are going to be well into the, again, almost 40 degrees below average in terms of Fahrenheit. Let's take a look at the 2-meter temperature shaded. These are the daytime highs across the Midwest forecasted by the GFS. By the way, European is in relatively good agreement with the GFS on this. This isn't just one model. Notice, we are looking at widespread 50s, lower 50s, upper 40s across much of the Midwest, and where the anomalies peak across Kansas and Nebraska, we could be looking at upper 30s and lower 40s. For early September, that's just, it's closer to average. For Kansas and Nebraska, we'd be seeing temperatures in 110, 120, rather than seeing 40s at this time of the year. So it's gonna be absurdly cold, and hopefully we don't see lots of frost damage, but I mean across the mountains, and it's the cold air is gonna be very ready to drop down into the 30s and possibly even the 20s. Now, as we move this forward with the temperature anomalies, you could see that it's not done by Tuesday. This moves further into Texas, right, and into much of the eastern United States. Well, really just east of the Mississippi. It starts slowly moving in by Wednesday. Notice it starts letting up across these areas by Thursday, but it really starts hitting portions of the South. So yes, the South will get in on this: Louisiana, Texas, Alabama, Mississippi. This may be brief, right? You've been dealing with a lot of heat. Really, everyone has been. But it will be a nice relief, and it will be a significant relief. And sometimes that's all you need just to keep going. Kind of a little fall back, a little breath of fresh air, and that's what you will get this time around for sure. The South will be really nice temperatures, but just upper Midwest and even parts of the mountains and the plains could just get uncomfortably just cold, and not even pleasantly cool, just cold. And if we push this forward, you can see this moves into the Northeast eventually, into the East Coast, but it does stay quite a while across Friday and Saturday, across the Midwest and Eastern United States. So you can see this is a week from today. Right here, this is a week from today, and this is still going on. This is now more than a week into Sunday. You can see the cool air still there. We definitely start seeing the warm air move back into Wyoming and Colorado, and I just want to show you what a more normal temperature would be for these locations. Let's just pick this day. You can see a bit chillier, but you can see we are seeing 80s, 70s. And on that one day, Tuesday, they could be looking at upper 30s. So just during the night, they could be looking at lower 30s. So really unprecedented records. I'm confident they will be broken. And by the way, the heat across the West is also going to be unprecedented. We could be looking at records in terms of heat. So both sides of the spectrum will be receiving records. The heat and cool weather. And notice, after that, come mid-September, we see the cool air still lingering, but we see a large area of heat building out to the west, and that really starts dominating. And to be honest with you, I think that's what rest of the September will look like. I think it'll be mainly dominated by warmer temperatures. Maybe not extremely hot like they're showing here, but I don't think we will get any more of these Arctic blasts. This thing seems to be a once occurrence, because I mean, otherwise that would be concerning if we saw more of these. We could see some more cooler air masses, right? That's not a problem, but that's not a cool air mass. That's basically polar vortex. Let's take a look at the European model now, see what it's showing in terms of anomalies. We'll look at the temperatures. 2-meter temperature anomaly. Let's look at, I wanted to go to surface precipitation. Sorry about that. I zoned out there for a second. Should have had this loaded up. I do apologize. Let's take a look at this. So this is today, tomorrow. We are now into Friday. You can see right there, 18Z. Here's the date. I'll go try going through this slowly. We do see a little bit of that cool air, as I mentioned. Just really some areas more closer to normal. You can see -1, -0. So it'll basically feel right around where it should for this time of the year. And we take this forward. You see a little bit of that heat starting to get in Sunday and Monday out ahead of this cool air mass. Kind of pushes it down, all the heat levels up here. Kind of sandwiches it so it does intensify it. Notice right there we do see an intensification of heat, but we also see again, I mean, up to 40 degrees above average in California. Definitely that's dangerous, the heat. And look at that, we push this into Tuesday, Monday, just very much of the same story. Some anomalies, again, you can see almost 46, reaching 50 degrees below average. This is now Tuesday during the day. The European, I almost had to double check, this isn't a GFS, because it's showing much of the same story. I mean, you can see widespread 40 degrees below average, if not more. So this is quite literally an Arctic outbreak in fall. I don't remember seeing an occurrence like this in a very long time, and I may have not seen much, right? But in the past 4 or 5 years that I've been consistently tracking the weather, I don't recall something so early, so drastic. You know, October, November, maybe, not so early. There have been storms. Last year there was a winter storm, late September, early October, across Montana and Idaho. But that's a whole month away from us. And a month may not seem like a lot, but this is when the United States, North America, the Northern Hemisphere cools very rapidly. And at beginning of September, we're still at August, almost July-like temperatures. It really hasn't begun the cooling process drastically. And notice, I mean, the anomalies, again, on both sides. We see 40 plus here, 40 negative here. So this is, again, going to start equaling itself out, the cool temperatures. Don't make it as far to the east as with the GFS, according to the European, but we'll have to monitor that and see what each model has its own story, and we can't just disregard them. And then notice towards the later forecast we get, even if there's a cool off, it's way more moderate. We get in 12, 13, 15, which is still cool, right? But it's more of an expected fall cool down rather than 40 degrees below average. Absolutely ridiculous. By the way, if you're curious, I just want to show you the total snowfall if you didn't see my other video. The European model is putting out quite a bit in some locations, up to 30 inches. Denver, located right around here, would be seeing almost over half a foot of snow according to this. So definitely interesting. We'll have to see this. The first possibly named winter storm of the season, we'll have to see. It may be. So maybe the earliest winter storm ever named. So that's basically it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And I'll catch you all guys in the next episode. See ya. Bye.